Yo, it's your boy Miles Cunningham. I'm here once again with Ed Zone. We're about to get it in, man. We talking about having options in dating and in life. Shout out to everybody hanging with us. Shout out to everybody that's checking us out. You know what I'm saying? Get in the chat, leave your comments. Put some questions in there. We might get to them. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes when Ed has a lot on his mind, you know what I'm saying? I can't control the game. You know what I'm saying? I can't control the spittage. You feel me? Ed, man, what's going on with you? How you feeling? How you feeling?
Listen, man, taking it one day at a time. Like I always tell you, always learning something new every day. Right. If you keep yourself occupied, you'll never be bored. There's no such thing as being bored. You're either boring or you're not. So I want to say shout out to Miles. Thanks for the platform once again. Thanks to shout out to the chat room for taking the time out of your day to watch me, spit my knowledge and what I've learned so far. So appreciate all of you. Shout out to April MC holding it down in the chat.
April MC in the building. All right.
So, today I wanted to talk about options in the dating game, especially option in the dating game and in life in general, because when I listen to Locario and Miles, and even when I listen to you guys on Sunday on the panel of the five of you guys, I hear callers calling in with the same issues over and over and over and over again, and it all stems from a lack of options, right? They have a lack of options with women, so they'll call in asking you guys a million questions every single episode, every single broadcast about one woman who has zero interest in them.
Right.
And like, if you had options, if you had 2, 3, I'm not even saying you got to be talking to 10 women at a time, but like 2 or 3 that you're dealing with, right? If one falls off, it's not going to be a big deal to you. Right. But because these guys are in such a scarcity mentality, they're in such a dating desert, right? One chick shows them a little bit of attention and even a slight bit of potential affection, not even real tangible affection, potential affection, and they want to latch onto her for dear life. You know what I'm saying? Like a tick to a dog's ass. And the thing is, like, yo, you got so many women out here, bro. You have so many women out here that it makes absolutely no sense to be focusing on one chick who flaked on you twice. Right. And be calling and now you're calling Miles and Locario like, hey, what's good, Miles? What's good, Locario? Yeah, so there's this chick, she flaked on me twice, right? But each time she had a good excuse though. Like the first time her pet goat died, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, she's grieving, I had to, let her go through that. The second time she got robbed by her dog robbed her, the dog that she knew since he was a little puppy robbed her. So she had to, file a police report. So I get it, like she had good excuses. So my question to you, Miles and Locario, if she flakes on me one more time, should I charge her or should I check her? Like stuff like that. Like when you get in questions like that over and over again, it all stems from that main problem, which is a lack of options. And I'm going to go a little bit more than that, right? Let's say you're talking to no women at all. Like your phone is dry. There's no females in your phone whatsoever. You still have a ton of options. Why? Because there are literally billions of women in the world. Right? Like Steve says in Game King, snap your fingers, right? There's a bunch of chicks turning 18, 22, whatever. Personally, for me, I don't go younger than 22 because I don't have the patience for like little girls. But there's a bunch of girls turning 18, 22, whatever age you like every single day, right? So you always have a ton of options to choose from. So there's no reason why you should be hung up on one chick who what I call a lukewarm chick, right? Who is giving you excuses and saying, maybe we'll see. I don't know. I'll get back to you. There's no reason you should be hung up on that chick and calling Locario and Miles wondering if you should check her or if you should charge her, or if you should give her another chance, or you should try to make it work. If she's really into you, there's no trying to make anything work because it's going to be easy.
Right.
That's it.
That's facts. You see, I think the scarcity mentality comes from the fact that guys don't think that they are worth having multiple options, right? Because they feel like well, it's like, see, it's one thing to feel entitled to something, but then it's another thing to understand what you deserve based on your value and based on the work that you put in.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? I just want to check your hat real quick. It says hustle builds mental muscle. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Yep.
It's guys out here putting in the hustle. It's guys out here meeting chicks. It's guys out here approaching. It's guys out here swiping and matching like crazy, setting up dates, doing their thing. You understand what I'm saying? Like if you have the ability to manage your time and manage everything that you're doing, then ultimately based on your ability to manage, that increases your value. And as your value increases, then that gives you again, I don't want to misconstrue entitlement with earning your keep.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? And that's the thing. A lot of guys, like, they're not, like, they don't fully understand what it means to earn their keep, because it's like they work just enough to get one chick in their texting thread. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
That's what most guys do. They work like even at they fucking, even at their job, because we're talking about having options in dating and in life, right?
Right.
Even at their job, a lot of guys, they work just enough to maintain their position at their job. Yep. You understand? And then they see other people moving up the ladder, and then they wonder, damn, like, how come I can't do this? How come I can't get a raise? How come I can't, you know what I'm saying? How come I can't become a manager? How come I can't level up? And it's like, bro, look at your situation. You're only doing enough to maintain where you're at. You're not doing anything to go further with it. You're not doing anything to put yourself in that other position, right? They say, don't dress for the job you have, dress for the job you want. But it's not just dressing. You understand? It's working, it's building up your mentals, it's hustling, right? So you can build your mental muscle. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's everything. It's everything. It's everything. You have what you put in is what you get out. And the sad part is, as well, is that a lot of guys are, truth be told, a lot of guys are afraid of success. You understand what I'm saying? Because when you're actually successful, when things start to actually happen, and you realize, oh shit, all of the things that I asked for are actually coming to fruition, but now you have to manage those new things. You understand what I'm saying? Now you have to put yourself in the zone. Like, everything that you asked for, you asked for a girlfriend, right? So now you have a woman in your life. Now you actually have to pay her attention. Now you have to, go out with her. Now you have to spend time with her. Now you have to give her dick. You know what I'm saying? Now you actually have to have sex with the woman. You understand? And you start to realize, hold up, like, she's not just an inanimate object. I know a lot of you guys are resorting to buying, plastic dolls and shit, or rubber dolls, and thinking that that's the way. But that's because a lot of you guys are actually afraid, right? Because a lot of guys, truth be told, they'd rather have sex with a latex doll than to deal with an actual human being, because they have to actually relate to a human being.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? And a lot of guys out there have trouble relating to themselves. And so if you have trouble relating to yourself, how can you relate to a human being? You get what I'm saying? So the successes that I'm talking about is actually you improving yourself. When you improve yourself, when you increase your knowledge, when you increase your strength, when you increase your intellect and your wisdom and your experiences, that's more, that's more information that you have to now manage. You understand? That's more information that you have to curate. That's more things that you have to deal with. That's more perspectives that you have to really try to understand and come to terms with. That's why a lot of the things that, we say on our platforms, specifically, Lucario, myself, the guys on the Real Game No Theory, and even you, Ed, a lot of things that we say, a lot of guys don't want to deal with it, because we don't say things to help you cope with your current position. We say things to help you elevate to the next position. Right. But what comes with the next position? The next position comes with a level of responsibility of improvement. Because what's the sense of improving if you still only are able to handle the same shit? It's like a juggler. A juggler, he starts out juggling three balls, right? And then he pause, right? He says to himself, well, I think I've worked on my skills enough where I can juggle four now. So you toss him the fourth one. But instead of actually putting it in the cipher of the juggling, he's still only juggling three, because it's like, well, I've been working on it, but I don't want to handle the responsibility of juggling four. You get what I'm saying? Right. And that's what a lot of guys do. So at the end of the day, that's why it's so comfortable for them to sit there and complain about women. It's so comfortable for them to sit there and complain about female nature and hypergamy and all of these things. Why? Because sitting there and complaining about it means that you don't have to deal with the responsibility of leveling up.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's the big part about why a lot of guys don't even want to have options in dating. You see what I'm saying? A lot of guys don't want to, they don't want to have options in life, because having all of those options shows that you have to step up. You have to increase. You have to progress. You have to do more. There's more work that you have to do now. You get what I'm saying?
Exactly. Yeah, no, that's 1000%. And here's the thing about options though, like even because most guys don't want to be players. Most guys do not want to have a rotation of women. Most guys don't want that. Most guys just want a nice, clean in their minds girlfriend who's a good girl. She's only been with 0 to 1 to 0.5 men in her life. You know, she might have held hands with one dude and maybe kissed another dude on the cheek, and that's all her sexual experience. So most guys just want a girlfriend, right? The thing is, even if you just want a girlfriend and you don't want to be a player, you still have to have a rotation. Because the first woman that you meet, 99 times out of 10, not out of 100, out of 10, is most likely not going to be qualified to be your girlfriend. So you're going to have to deal with another one and date another one and another one and another one and go through a series of different experiences with women so that you can learn yourself in relation to women of different personalities and in different relationship situations, so that when you finally meet a woman and you finally know yourself fully, what you will stand for and what you won't stand for, then you can know if she's worthy and qualified to be in your program and be in your life, because you have enough experience to know that, okay, these are my rules. If she breaks this, that's a charge. If she breaks this, that's a check, and stuff like that, right? Right. But most guys, like we were saying, like most guys barely know themselves, right? And the whole idea of having, they like the idea of having a woman. They like the idea of having a woman. They want the goal, but they don't want the journey. So yeah, having a woman sounds great. Oh yeah. And I watch a whole bunch of videos about relationships on YouTube and all that stuff. But to put in the actual work and to see a woman that I find attractive on the street, you know, she got a fat ass and she looks like a whole meal and I want to stick my fork in her and all that stuff. But to go and approach her and introduce myself and say, hi, my name is John. Oh, no, that's too much work. I'd rather look at her ass and then look at another guy and nod and wink and thumbs up the guy, instead of going to her and saying, hi, my name is John. You're looking like a full course meal. Let's get together and make something happen. That's too much work. That's scary. But I look at another guy and go, yeah, she got a nice cam. It's like, yo, you guys, and I'm talking to the guys in the chat, I'm talking to guys in general, you have so much power. You have more power than you realize, right? And I say the power of options in life in general, because I'm going to put a little aside too. Right now, we're going through this thing where people are being forced to, you know, get certain medical procedures done to themselves in order to keep their job, right? I ain't going to say the word because Susan is watching. But they're getting, she's the CEO of YouTube, if people didn't know. So people, yeah, so that right there goes to the power of options, because if you had sources of income on the side that you controlled, where you could tell that job to go fuck itself because you're not willing to get that thing because you don't really know what's in it and you don't know what the effects could be, you would do that. But there's people on social media saying, hey, I had no choice. I had to get it to keep my job because I got bills and my kids and blah, 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 due to the lack of options. There's so much power in options. You have so much control over your life, your body, everything, right? So when you can look and say, you know what? Oh, this chick says she's not interested. Oh, she said she got a boyfriend. Oh, she ignored me and kept walking. I don't give a shit because I got options. And on top of that, even if I don't have options, there are literally over 3 billion females in the world. And if you live in a major city, there's millions of females for you to talk to. So that one that just brushed me off doesn't exist as far as I'm concerned. She no longer exists. It's like when in Power, when Tommy and Ghost fell out and Tommy was like, I want to hear his fucking name, right? He doesn't exist. It's that type of thing. She don't exist, right? I'm gonna move on to the next one. Right. You understand? That is where the power of options comes in, because you combine that with confidence in yourself, which confidence is just the ability to trust yourself. You trust yourself to know that, listen, she said no, there's a million others that are going to say yes. There's a like the next chick is gonna say yes, and if she don't say yes, the next chick is gonna say yes, and yes and yes and yes until I build that rotation or get that girlfriend or that wife or whatever it is you're looking for. But when you have that power of options available to you, that nothing can stop you. Little obstacles and all that stuff doesn't matter, because you're like, listen, I literally can create the abundance in my life that I want, the exact abundance in my life that I want. That's what I'm gonna create. And as simple as that, the power of options. That's it.
Facts. You know, I was I had an Instagram live yesterday, and so this dude he sent a question. He put a question in, and he was talking about, like, basically he was talking about that whole idea of focusing, like taking a break from women to focus on his purpose. Because he said, I think he said something about trying to put a business together or something. He was trying
who said that?
Huh?
Who said that?
It was I forgot his name right now, but okay. It's a guy on my he came. I invited him on my IG live yesterday.
I think I saw that. I think he's a Jamaican brother, right? From Brooklyn.
Yeah. And my question to him was, you know, so I was like, you know, so you're working on your purpose and you're trying to do things. But my question to him was, the man that you're trying to become, right? You're working on your purpose. So that means you have a goal. That means you're trying to get somewhere. That means there's a version of you that is not manifested yet that you're trying to become, right? So I was like, that version of yourself, does he have a woman in his life or not? And he thought about it for a second. He was like, yeah, I do. That version of me does have a woman in his life. And I'm like, well, see, that's exactly why you can't stop dealing with women while working on your purpose. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying? But this is exactly what I'm talking about. Like cats want to do the work, but they don't want to do too much. You get what I'm saying? Because they're literally afraid that, I might not be able to handle this, because if I'm trying to work on my purpose, there's no way I could deal with women. And if I'm trying to deal with women, there's no way I can handle my purpose and still brush my teeth and wash my ass and all of this.
It's like they don't know that you can walk and chew gum at the same time.
That's what I'm saying.
What you just said just now, it's like you go to the gym, right? And you start lifting weights. And as soon as you feel a little bit of like pain or discomfort, you put the weights down and you never go back to the gym again. Right. That's what's happening to these guys. Like a lot of guys will literally talk to one woman a week. I used to be that guy. Like I'm talking from experience. You know what I'm saying? Real game, no theory, right? Like everything I say is from personal experience, right? I've been the guy who women have called me handsome, and then I'm like, yo, sorry, let's take it to the next level. And she's like, oh no, I don't see you like that. I'm not attracted to you like that. But you call me handsome. What the hell? I've been the guy who talked to one chick at the mall and she said, no, I'm not interested. And I'll never talk to any chicks for the rest of the week. And I had to muster up the courage to talk to another chick like 2 weeks later. I've been that guy. I've been that guy where a chick would flake on me and give no excuse or whatever. She was just like, I can't make it. And I would text her again and say, can we try another day and all that? And nothing ever came of that. I used to go back and forth arguing with chicks who I never even had sex with. And first of all, even if I have had sex with her, I'm not going to argue with her, because I don't argue with nobody, male or female, but especially not no woman. Right. And I would go back and forth over text. But you know what I'm saying? I'll be nicer if you think I'm too mean. I'll be nicer. Like I used to be that type of dude, because some chick one time told me, oh, you're so clinical and cold. Everything you say is so clinical and cold. It's like, you taught me how to be human. And I'm so thankful that you taught me this. This used to be me. God. This was me back in the day, right? This was me. So I banged my head against the wall a million times. And I've learned to, number one, take myself less seriously, but still respect myself, if you know what I mean. Like get to the point where I don't take things personally from people, from women, whatever, from work. I don't take nothing personally, because I have my mind dead set on whatever missions that I have in my life, right? So if it doesn't directly serve my purpose, or if it's going to take away energy from whatever I'm focused on, it doesn't matter. Now, that being said, we can all multitask. You can work on your purpose and still talk to women, because talking to women is a muscle, right? It's a muscle, meaning if you go weeks and months without talking to women, you will get rusty, right? You will get rusty. Understand what I'm saying? And then when you finally do muster up the courage to talk to another chick you find attractive, you're going to be stumbling over your words. You're going to be bumbling, mumbling, and all that. And she's going to reject you. And then you're going to be like, see, this is why I focus on my purpose. And it becomes a negative, self-fulfilling prophecy. right? You start reinforcing why you fail, and you start becoming the reason why you fail, why you blame the women, and why you blame, see, I got distracted off my purpose, so I shouldn't have done that, right? Now, it all goes back to practice. The more you practice, the more you step out there and interact with not just women, but old people, little kids, keep staying social in general, the easier it will be for you to have an abundance mentality. The easier it will be for you to have options, which will continue to feed your abundance mentality, because you're like, yo, I got 3 chicks I'm talking to right now. Like that enforces to me that there are chicks out there who want to deal with me. So let me continue to deal with more and more and more. And then, you know, one day, if or when I'm ready to settle down with just one, then I will do that. But even if you want to settle down with just one and don't want to be a player, you still got to talk to a bunch before you can get to that one.
Right.
Because of that lack of options and that scarcity mentality that so many guys have, the first chick that shows them any hint of affection, and I use potential affection because she's not even really doing nothing for you, right? but she's the first chick that texted you back when you texted her, right? That dude is ready to make her his girlfriend. Right. Because she texted him back. And that's why you hear all the time on social media, on the news, whatever, so many dudes getting in relationships that end horribly, right? The chick is cheating on him. She's disrespecting him. She's cursing at him in public, doing all types of crazy shit because he promoted her when she was not ready and when she was not qualified, because she was the first person to give him play in 6 months or a year or 2 years. That is why the power of options is so crucial and critical, because it will, if you don't have options or you don't think you have options, you will make some of these stupidest mistakes that could cost you financially, that could cost you for the rest of your life, that could literally destroy your life because you made a terrible decision and you let people into your life who are not ready or qualified.
Right. I want to also talk about creating options within yourself, meaning you know, like, you know, I'm sure everybody's, or well, I don't know if everybody, but there's this term called Renaissance man. And what it, you know, if anybody's familiar, there was a period in history called the Renaissance. It was in
like 1400s, 1500s.
Yeah. So during this time, I think they were just coming out of the Dark Ages.
The Dark Ages. Yeah.
Right. And so what was happening at this time was there was a big awakening of artistry, you know, poetry, philosophy, you know, sculptures and paintings, and, you know, just people was writing books, and it was a huge thing. You know, this is where, like, during that time, this is where, like, niggas like Shakespeare and Plato and Aristotle and all these guys came out, you know, writing stuff down, and, you know, just creating art. And what they called it the Renaissance because there were so many different people that were participating in all these different type of artistic expressions, as well as architecture and, you know, infrastructure, engineering, so many different things that was improving society in general, right? And civilization, affecting civilization in a lot of positive ways. So what they say today is that, you know, they say, you know, there's a renaissance. If you want to, like, be like, you want to look to be what's considered a Renaissance man, meaning that you have the ability to show value in different aspects of your life. Right. You understand what I'm saying? Like, so as a dude getting at females, right? It's important that you realize that you should have value in different aspects of your life. And what I mean by that is that you should be able to relate to yourself and show value to yourself in different ways. So, for example, you know, every man should be able to cook. Every man should be able to clean his own house. Every man should be able to manage his own finances, meaning, you know, budget and save money and things like that. He should have a certain level of you know, consistency with his fitness, his health. You understand what I'm saying? Just, you know, being able to get up, go to work, take care of his responsibilities, still be able to, you know, appreciate things like art, literature, you know, movies, plays, museums, or whatever have you, different expressions of art. Because you know, you have social media stuff. That's not the regular social media, but like social media that covers actual artistic expression, right? You have, you know, comic books, right? You have people who write, people who, you know, they express themselves in a lot of different ways. I mean, shit, even rappers, like to a certain extent, right? When you really appreciate the art of it. The reason why I'm saying this is because a lot of us try to focus on like one or two things. And what we don't realize is that we say to ourselves that we're trying to date, we're trying to deal with women, we're trying to relate to women. And what we kind of forget sometimes is that as human beings, there are different sides to us, right?
Right.
If we're actually trying to relate to another human being, that means we have to be able to, like, we don't need to know everything about everything, but you should try to know a little bit about a lot. You understand what I'm saying? So that means that you can carry on a conversation in almost any room. You understand? You could be in a room full of politicians and actually have something meaningful to say. And then you could also be in a room full of ratchet ass niggas and still be able to relate to them just as well. You understand what I'm saying? Why? Because sometimes you're on YouTube and you'll watch a video about philosophy, but then you'll also check out that ratchet ass video on World Star of niggas beating each other's ass, or, you know, Lizzo twerking or some dumb shit. You understand what I'm saying? Only because you want to be able to have a more complex, you know, depth to your personality. You understand what I'm saying? And what happens is a lot of times we don't really do that, and it puts us into a certain box. And here's what happens when a female puts you into a certain box. That's when you create things like the friend zone. You understand? That's when you create things like the guy that I use to listen to all my problems, right? Or the guy that I use for sex, or the guy that I use to take me out on, you know, so I can have free meals. You see, the thing is that a lot of guys, you know, they only work on one or two things, right? So they're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna work on my mouthpiece, and then I'm gonna work on my ability to escalate physically. But then when it comes to the actual act of sex, they have no idea what the fuck they doing. You understand? And then they wonder, damn, how come I bring the chick to my house and, you know, we chilling and we having a good time, but then she never wants to have sex with me. You know what I'm saying? Or I got a chick, all she want to do is have sex with me, but whenever I try to, you know, do something more serious with her, it never happens. Or she only did me for this, that, and the third. And it's like, listen, you have to have options within yourself, meaning that you have depth. You have different, like, you know, that whole thing with Shrek. You know, you're like an onion. You have
all girls have layers. All girls have layers, donkey. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Going. What you gonna say?
Yeah. So no, and just like bouncing off what you're saying, like even something like sex, right? A lot of guys think sex is just the penetration. Sex starts long before that, bro. It starts from the moment you introduce yourself, right? And there's parts to it. There's the kissing, right? There's the foreplay. There's the sex. There's the penetration itself. There's a lot of different mental and physical parts to it, right? But so many guys are just focused on the penetration that they mess up all the other parts and wonder why they don't get to the penetration.
Right.
But and then going off your yes, we know like Plato and Aristotle were before the Renaissance. Somebody pointed out in the chat, but we get what Miles is saying. Miles is making a whole big point.
Yo, forgive me, bro. Forgive me.
I'm not because. The big picture of what you were saying is on point as usual, right? It was gold, right? You gotta be a well-rounded, multi-layered type of man. You gotta be the type of guy who can blend in with different crowd. Like, why do you think to this day so many people like Tupac? Right? He had his flaws, he had his faults, just like any other human being. But this man was a perfect example of a multi-talented, multi-layered, multi-tiered type of person, a multifaceted man, right? This man could hang out with the gangsters, the criminals, the drug dealers, and then like the Hollywood elite, all at the same time. He read like a bookworm. He was a bookworm. Like, this man read Sun Tzu. He read Shakespeare. He read all of that stuff. He could talk to different groups of people and blend in with different groups of people. Right. Even Snoop Dogg. This is one of my favorite stories because I love rap history, right? And Snoop Dogg would tell this story about how Pac took one of his girls from him. Sally Richardson, the actress Sally Richardson, like, she was dating Snoop for a while until she met Tupac. And a lot of, like, what do you see? So many women universally, like, they love Tupac, they love him, blah, 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 blah. Why? Because this man was multi-layered, right? Women have very active minds and get bored very easily. When you're the type of man who is unpredictable and can hit them with all different types of yourself that they never even suspected, that's going to keep them intrigued, right? Like when you can say one day you could take, like, let's say this chick has earned a spot in your life, right? One day you could take her to the art museum. The next day you could take her to a concert. The next day you could just tell her to come over to your house. You don't say a word. You just rip her clothes off, fuck the shit out of her, and then tell her to leave or whatever. When you can do all types of spontaneous, she never knows what you're going to do next type of stuff, that's what keeps them intrigued, right? When you become the type of dude who just relegates her to movies, dinner, movie, dinner, movie, dinner, movie, dinner, movie, dinner. And then you wonder, just like a call back to the show you guys did yesterday, and then you wonder why you text her at night and then in the morning she's like, oh, I was asleep, right? It's because she's bored and you become predictable. You do not want to be predictable. And not just for women, for yourself. You don't want to be bored with yourself, right? You want to always be trying something new, learning something new, doing something new so that you can live an interesting life. When you live an interesting life, women will want to be a part of it, right? Hustle builds mental muscle, right? On normalbrands.com. All you got to do is type in snapbacks and you can get a snapback like this and all that. The reason why I said this is because the work you put in, right? The work you put in will build your mind. And when you build your mind, you can literally shape your reality the way you want it, because your mentality will create the reality that you want. That doesn't mean it's going to change what actually is, but it's going to create the life that you want. Yes, there are things that might happen that we can't control, but for the most part, how our life turns out is 1000% in our hands and 1000% based on our mentality, right? And when you have the mentality that I have options in abundance with women, with friends, with business opportunities, with networking, with money, etc. There's so many different ways to make money. Side note, check out REITs, REITs, REIT, Real Estate Investment Trust. That's a great way to invest in real estate without buying real estate. So I threw out a free nugget. For you guys right there.
And I'm real quick, just to add to that, a lot of them they're on Robinhood as well.
Yes, but I'm gonna say this though. I'm gonna be honest. I don't really mess with Robinhood, Webull, Acorn, and all that stuff. To me, they seem too gamey. They seem too much like casino apps and stuff like that. I prefer something that's more like stronger, more established, like TD Ameritrade, E-Trade, Vanguard, Fidelity. I like those because I like the layout. I could do my research and see different things. But if you want to use Robinhood, cool. But I would say add to that too. Get you a TD Ameritrade, a E-Trade, a Scottrade, something like that, right? But on top of that, right? So when you can really like build yourself up and get in your mind like I have options. Listen, the other day, right? This is the power of options to it. Options literally make you more attractive to women. The other day, this past Saturday, I was out with this lovely, thick, voluptuous Guyanese chick. Black Guyanese, not Indian. Black Guyanese, right? So I'm talking to her like, and while I got her pressed up against the wall and I'm making out with her, I'm holding her head in my hands like this. I'm like, I'm gonna be seeing other chicks too. I'm seeing other chicks. She goes, I understand. And we go back to making out, right? Because when chicks see that you are desirable to other women, they want you even more. They do not want a man who nobody else wants. And even if you are not talking to anybody right now, that's okay. I've been there. We've all had our droughts, right? Even if you're not talking to anyone right now, carry yourself like you are. Somebody asked in the chat, how many women should they be speaking to a week? Every woman you see, if need be. Talk to the old ladies, right? Talk to the old ladies. Talk to women you don't find attractive. Me personally, I talk to women who I do not find attractive just for conversation. Right. You know what I'm saying? I'll bring up some random stuff. Hey, a good bookstore around here, blah, blah, blah. Just to keep that social muscle growing and flowing and keep the verbal sword sharp. I will do that. I'll talk to old dudes. I'll talk to little kids. But hey, how's school? Oh, what's your favorite subject? Is it boring? Whatever. You know what I'm saying? I will talk to people just to keep that sword sharp. When you have the power of options, I'm going to say it again. When you have the power of options, you are unstoppable. That's when you can tell people to kiss your ass. If somebody at the job does something you don't like, you have financial options where you're like, yo, I don't really need this job right now. I could tell this supervisor to kiss my ass because I got 6 months to a year worth of savings saved up. I got my investments here that'll pay me dividends, every 3 months or every month. By the way, the REITs STAG and O pay you a dividend every month. I'm giving you some more free game right there. But when you have these options on the side, come on, man. That's where the power comes in. That's where you can have one of the most powerful words in the English language, which is no. You can tell people no, because if you don't want to do something, you literally don't have to do it. You don't got to be in the position where you got to do things that go against who you are and what you represent.
Facts. Man, look, we gonna end it right there, man. Y'all got enough. Y'all got enough game for the time being, man. We can't give y'all too much. You feel me? But anything else you wanna push real quick, my man?
No doubt. So my YouTube channel is EdZone. You can see my name right there, EDDZONE. That's my YouTube channel. I cover self-improvement in general. I talk a little finance, man-woman interactions, dynamics, a little dating, a little self-improvement in general. All of that stuff, man. You know, and especially my nutrition series. I just released two really, really useful videos. The anti-estrogen diet, tips on how to reduce the estrogen in your diet and increase your testosterone, and also 5 plant-based foods that help you build muscle. So definitely check that out. You will be glad you did. Oh yeah, and normalbrands.com, where I got my snapbacks. Check that out too. I'm running a 20% off sale until Monday, October 4th. So definitely check it out.
Normalbrands.com. All right, guys, that's gonna be about it, man. Remember, man, create options for yourself and start with the options within. You understand? Be able to talk to multiple people, be able to have different interests, be able to understand different aspects of who you are, so you can understand different aspects of other people, especially that girl, that girl that you're trying to holler at. You feel me? Because that's how you're gonna be able to exercise different situations, you know what I'm saying? Exercise different interests in her. Wake up shit that she didn't even know she had in herself. You understand what I'm saying? And again, how, you know, understanding certain things about different aspects of life. You know, like I said, a man should know how to cook. A man should know how to clean. Why? Because when you get that female in your life, you need to be able to show her, listen, don't clean my bathroom like this. Clean my bathroom like this. You understand? Don't make my rice, chicken, and vegetables like this. Make my rice, chicken, and vegetables like this. You get what I'm saying? And you can literally
and every now and then
you can show her.
And every now and then, if she behaves, you could do a surprise meal for her if she behaves.
If she's acting right, you feel me? But
I tell them that all the time from the beginning. If you behave, we could actually do something else.
Facts. So it's your boy EdZone, it's your boy Miles Cunningham. Man, we really appreciate y'all for hanging out with us. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to April MC in the building. Appreciate you guys. And always remember, the truth is inside you. Peace.